energy, 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 energy. And of course, I'm friggin' pumped, you guys. It's time. It's time to review some of this information. And there's no way I'm going to stick it all in a video because just even on one topic, I can't get it all in. Okay, so here we go. Today, we're going to talk about how to get into ketosis, why you should even try the ketogenic diet, and some of the things that, boom, mess you up if you do it wrong. Also, that it can work as a weight loss strategy, but never first, always your health and getting your systems in order first, where weight loss won't work. Okay guys, so here we go. We're almost hitting 5. We're almost hitting the 5 years. At the age of 46, almost 47, and this is the effect of being in a state of ketosis, where I have learned how to become fat adapted. So when people Google, they might see things like fat adapted or ketogenesis or the ketogenic diet, where your brain learns how to use fat as fuel. Now the Krebs cycle, the cells in your entire body also learn how to use ketones, which is units of fat from what you are eating or what you have stored. Boom. So this is the business, and this is the effect of being in a state of ketosis. And I'll often show the video. So, the body, the business. I often show the business, so each video you can see that my body is very consistent. And in fact, by even looking at my own videos, I see that I've gained, well, I know that I've gained because I've stepped on a scale, but I see that I've gained, boom, 10 pounds of muscle. That's what I've gained on no cardio. And why do I say no cardio? Because, of course, it's been a while since I've shown my knee in this fashion, but I've had 10 knee surgeries and the camera's a bit too high. But I used to be a pro skateboarder, yes, on those big vert ramps. And way back over here are some skate pictures. And these pictures are my cortisol lowering effect because I took them, because I love photography. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into it. Bam! Okay, so ketogenic diet is when you train your body, especially your brain, to burn fat as fuel. So what are we doing? What have we done our whole lives? Well, we've been carb dependent, sugar dependent, and it doesn't matter. Bread, honey, and orange, all the same in the blood. Once it's digested and turns into a liquid called glucose, which essentially means sugar, that's what your brain is surviving off of, is the glucose, aka sugar. So what's so wrong with sugar, right? Aren't we supposed to have it? Doesn't your doctor say, and if you're suffering any type of diabetes, doesn't your doctor say to eat carbs every 2 hours? Yes. Now, we have to relate everything to our bodies being in the tundra of, let's say, Africa. Now, would you be eating carbs every 2 hours? No, because it was feast or famine then. So you either had an abundance of food or you had no food. So what happens if you don't eat food? You know, what if you don't have diabetes type 2 or type 1, but your doctors are still saying you have to eat every couple of hours, or you're going to go through a thing called hypoglycemia, which is chronic low blood sugar. So all of these modern day diseases, where are we? Whew. Honey, I don't know how I'm going to stick it all in 15 minutes, but I will try. If not, I'll have to do a second and a third. Okay, so here we go. So we're living off in the tundra. These bodies today, they don't know that we're living in a modern time. Our bodies, our subconscious body brain has no idea that we have the accessibility to food everywhere. So these bodies that we do have the accessibility of food and processed foods are not used to this because our primal bodies want to be out there in the tundra living next to the earth with the dirt between our toes. So our bodies are kind of stuck, right? They're stuck between the modern time and the modern stresses, and then they are stuck with actually our genetic profile is very similar to the way they were 500,000 years ago. A million. With some small variations in our genetic profile. We are essentially the same. So, what's the deal? I mean, we have different genetics, of course, according to ethnic groups. There are some cultures and some ethnic groups that have more amylase in their saliva, which is a sign of being able to prepare to break down starches and sugar from the mouth. But that still does not come from a cracker. That might come from some fruit or honey. Well, maybe it's coming from small bits of rice. But today, we are inundated with our primary source being from carbohydrates, which is poison to the blood. So how can it be poisonous? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. The doctor says eat carbs every 2 hours, yet, Steph, you're saying it's poison and it's toxic. Well, if you actually break it all down, you've got, let's say, hold on, I forgot my little teaspoon. Let me go get it. Boo, boo, boo. Boom! So this, look at this. This is what is safe, right? You can have autoimmune disorder, blood sugar dysregulation, type 2 diabetes, and you could probably metabolize that without too much stress on the body of sugar, carbs, fruit, honey, bread, crackers, whatever. And this, look at that. That's not much. That's the amount that can circulate through your whole body. That's 4 grams of glucose in your body. So that might be like 3 bites of rice. Yeah, done. After that, more and more of these becomes toxic to the body. And it's just too much blood sugar elevated at one time, and boom, the body freaks out. It's like we want to get it somewhere, but what we do want to have it is out of the blood. If too much blood sugar at a high volume, hitting the blood fast, cannot be cleared out of the blood, you start to have a thing called insulin resistance or diabetes, which a lot of you guys have that. And you're like talking about it like that's not normal. Constipation is not normal. You know how many people are blocked up? Blocked up in their bowels. What is that? Do you know how many guys have GERD, acid reflux? Do you know how many people are awake at night and they think it's normal? Depression, normal. No. These are type of ailments you can live with, but then they start getting worse. Like there's this guy in my gym, like I don't understand, I'm so fascinated, because he has schizophrenia. And you can see that his teeth are missing, right? I was like, oh, too much glucose. Cavities. Schizophrenic people tend to eat a lot of carbs, a lot of sugar, and a lot of processed foods. It's a disease of elevated blood sugar in the brain. Diabetes of the brain. That's what Alzheimer's does. People who've got brain injuries. Parkinson's. That is the reason why you want to learn about the ketogenic diet. So what do? In our first part series, where are we? Geez, we're already at 8 minutes. How did that happen? 8 minutes. Okay, so we're eating all these processed foods. See, if we were living out in the tundra, fruits and vegetables were very limited, number one, and then they only grew seasonally, and that's only a couple of months out of a 12-month year. The rest of the time we were hunters, and we hunted for game. And I've said this in many videos, we hunted for the fatty, after the fatty bits of the animal, before the muscle meat, yeah? Because there's not enough vitamins in this. There's a great protein profile, but there's not enough vitamins that we need. We need vitamins that are coming from our organs. Chock filled with vitamins. More than fruits and vegetables if it's coming from a healthy source of animal. Incredible. People don't think about nutrients in the fatty bits, like your liver. Not our liver, but like a calf. Like the healthy calf. It is chock filled with vitamins and minerals. And the bone marrow. You guys want to get healthy? You want to help boost your immune system? Eat some bone broth from grass-fed cows. Let that stuff in the pot boil for a long time, get all the fat and all the nutrients out of the bone marrow. Okay, here we go. It's ketogenic diet. It's when you drive your carbs down. And I mean down. I don't mean 50. if you have efficient fat cells because you're an athlete and your body knows how to put fat, take glucose and triglycerides, put them in the fat, and then release them through gluconeogenesis back as sugar, as energy, fine. But that's a tiny little percentage of people. That's a tiny little. So the rest of us, well, the rest of us don't have efficient fat cells. And the older that you get, the less efficient and effective they become. So we got to be careful past this, y'all. Because if you could do past this, you start to have all those issues of being fat. And women have estrogen dominance. And men have low testosterone. And people have got thyroid disorder. And on and on and on, which I say in all these videos. So you take your carbs down. You eat vegetable carbs. You can't eat onions, no. Cooked carrots, no. Corn, no. Sweet peas, no. Because all of these would have too much sugar. And you're like, what? Those are vegetables. How could they have too much sugar? Well, we want to go low. We want to go to cruciferous vegetables. Fibrous vegetables that are low in carb. High in fiber. Yeah. We want to cook them just a little bit. Not full raw. Because that's rough on the digestive system. All that fiber can like scratch up your digestive system. Contrary to popular belief, trying to have a nice elimination process isn't eating about high fiber. That's not natural either. Remember, we went months out of the year without having fiber. So you want to lube up the pipes. Fat. Our whole body, our cell membranes are made out of fat. Our sex hormones are made out of cholesterol. Yes, we've been lied to about saturated fats. Pork fat from a healthy pig, steak fat from a healthy cow. I don't mean high levels of protein, moderate to low levels of protein. I mean, we can't even metabolize protein every hour. Yeah? We need even a 4-hour gap in between our proteins. So you guys are already doing protein shakes. Really? In its process. Yo, just grab some, do some Vince Gironda. Google them. Guys, badass. Take some raw eggs and make a shake. It's not slimy. Yo, it turns out to like mayo. Blend that with some coconut milk, with some vanilla, with some stevia, and some spinach, some organic spinach. And bam, you have the best protein shake ever. Oh yeah, and some fats, of course. You know, we've got our MCT oil. We could put some butter in there. And of course the coconut fat. Okay, where are we? So this is definitely going to have to be a series of videos because there's no way I can stick it all in one. But I do want to say that I keto coach people. It's about being on the ketogenic diet, as I'm now calling it the non-BS diet, because to get into this state of ketosis where your brain burns fat, that's a hard little bridge to cross. And you can't just drop your carbs and get into ketosis. Your macronutrient placement, your carbohydrates, your fats, and your proteins have to be spot on, but that's not all. Your gut has to be in balance. You have to be in balance. The way you think has to be in balance. Your exercise, your fitness, all of those things have to be in balance. Your liver, your colon have to be cleaned out, or else you won't adapt and the weight won't come off. Really, all the other elements that are more important don't really heal. So you have to be in balance before you adapt. Then when you do adapt, it's like being superhuman. You have energy all day long. It's fantastic. Okay, so where are we? We're at 13 minutes. So first part is take your fat out. I mean, gosh, I always do that. Take your fat in. Don't listen to what I just said. Be like a goldfish. Forget it. Bring in a lot of fat. Cut your carbs down between 15 to 20. But don't go lower than 15 because we do need our prebiotic fiber. We need a little bit. And our nutrients from the greens. We need it. Don't cut it out. Don't go to zero carb thinking you're going to adapt, because some people have done that and just have done some just straight fiber supplements and no carbs. Don't do that. So that's tip number 1 in the series of how to get into ketosis. And I'm on to the second one. Boom! Peace out. Check me out at stephanieperson.com or my Facebook, Stephanie the Business, because it's a business. This is a business person to get more. But this is going to be another series of videos. So I'm going to turn this off and turn it back on for another one. Beep, beep, beep.